Oh, yeah. Is it Saturday already? Have we made it through yet another week of Star Wars news? And oh my goodness, we got a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer to watch today. A brand new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that came out alongside of Zootopia 2 this last weekend, or I guess this weekend that we're in right now. But we got a new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Also, Ahsoka Season 2 concept art that we were looking at on Tuesday's live stream. We have even more never before seen concept art, but also the enhanced seen before Chopper concept art and all that great stuff. We got some wild stuff to get to. Starfighter. It's even Samantha's birthday today. We got a fun stream to get to today. So without further ado, let's dive into all of it. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday afternoon? I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving this last week. If you celebrated Thanksgiving, of course. Many things to be thankful for this year. But when it comes to the channel, I suppose, it's a big one today. Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, Ahsoka Season 2, Star Wars Starfighter, and to top it all off, it's the last stream of the month, and that means we got a giveaway today. It's giveaway day, so if you are a member, you have a 1 in like 100-ish chance to win the great giveaway today, which is honestly a really cool one, and it's Samantha's birthday. So if you don't know, Samantha, my girlfriend, she will be on the live stream later today, and we got a lot to review because we've been just watching so much Star Wars lately. The prequel trilogy, all of the Bad Batch. We watched Solo, and now we're on to Kenobi. So we're going to get her on the stream later for her nice special birthday celebration. But before we talk about any of this, before we break down the brand new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Let's start this stream the way we're supposed to. Okay. All right, let's do it. Skywalker Academy, how we doing? WV Grad in the house. Holly, how we doing? Starship 66, what is up? Vegas Jedi, how we doing? Zaba, what is up? That guy that Dave that loves Star Wars, great name. I love that. John Groom, how we doing? Mando United in the house. Theories of the Force, what is up? Christopher, how we doing? Manning Film in the building. Darth Plagueis lives, what is up? Darth Plagueis, I'll get to your membership song in a second. Nathan, how we doing? All right, if I missed you, Brandon Baker, what's up? If I missed you, you know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. Let's give everybody a nice little...
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Okay, we got to start with a membership song because Darth Plagueis Lives joined the people who love Star Wars at the Padawan level. I appreciate that quite a bit. Darth Plagueis, welcome to... the people who love Star Wars. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Darth Plagueis lives at the Padawan level. I appreciate that quite a bit. That's insanely generous. Super chats, memberships keep the lights on over here, so I appreciate that. Also, if you are not yet a member, you have today, this live stream, to join and get a 1 in 100-ish chance to win today's giveaway, which let's take a look at that giveaway, shall we? Let's take a look. Oh my god, here it is. I have so many different tabs open to look at for the concept art of Ahsoka Season 2, but let's start with this. Today's giveaway is a nice, Star Wars Lego. Who doesn't like a good Star Wars Lego? But since we're talking about him so much, since he's everywhere, since we're watching the new trailer for his movie today, and he might even die in said movie, today we're giving away the Lego head of Din Djarin. So if you're not yet a member, you have today's live stream to join and get a 1 in about 100 chance to win the Mandalorian Lego set. We'll do that later on in the live stream towards the end. But if you are not yet a member, this is your chance. This is your chance. So if you want the head, the beheaded Din Djarin on a Lego stand, this is your chance. Because he's going to die in the movie, and they're going to stop making the merchandise for Din Djarin. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But that's the giveaway today. So you can become a member for the next hour and a half, and then you can steal it away from all the great members that we have on this channel. But okay, let's start with the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Okay, it's got me ridiculously excited. I mean, it's the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. I mean, what else do you have to say? It's the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. It's the continuation of the 3 seasons of the Star Wars show that kickstarted the live-action Star Wars on Disney+. It's Grogu. It's Din Djarin. It's greatness continued onto the big screen. And now we got a new trailer. So let's watch it, shall we? Let's watch the trailer. Because we got some new scenes, some old scenes, and some crazy theories about possibly, Starkiller Base and all the greatness that happens with that. Actually, before we even watch the trailer, we have a new poster for the movie as well. So let's take a look at that first. The first poster was very busy. You had a lot of things like the Twin Hutts. You had Sigourney Weaver's character on there, and you had some other things going on. This one's very simple, and I kind of like it. But you have Din Djarin and Grogu, and that's about it. This is a sort of a leaked foreign poster. As you see, it's not in English. But you got Din Djarin, you got Grogu. Hence the name, the Mandalorian and Grogu. But very simple, very straight to the point, and I kind of like it. It's kind of a cool poster. Yeah. I'm a fan. We'll put it that way. All right. Now let's get to this trailer. Let's get to the trailer. Okay. First, I'm putting up a poll, sorry. Are you excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu movie? Yes or no? And while you're at it, on a scale from 1 to 10, tell me in the chat, how excited are you for this movie? Now, this trailer was not officially, released by Lucasfilm, by Disney. So we're going to be, watching it illegally. No, sorry. We will be watching the trailer. Please don't shut us down. Okay, let's let's take a look at this trailer. This is playing in front of Zootopia 2. So if you've seen that movie, you might have seen this trailer. I have not seen Zootopia 2, but I have seen this trailer many a times. So let's take a look. A lot of these scenes you may recognize from the first teaser trailer that we got, but here, let's take a look. Uh-oh. We got a loading circle. What is this? They don't want us to watch the trailer, chat. Hang on. Let's refresh the page. They don't want us to know. Here we go. Here we go.
Impressive.
All right, so we got a couple new scenes. A bunch of old scenes from the original trailer that was released a couple months ago. But some of them are very, very important. Some of them happen on that icy, snowy planet that we're very intrigued about. Could it be Starkiller Base? Could it be Hoth? Could it be some other bit. I don't know yet. But let's go back and watch those new scenes because it does start the same way as the other one does on the Adelphi base. You got the Razor Crest coming in, Zeb's Razor Crest. Din Djarin's probably going to get it eventually. This is still the same, a lot of the same. What's going on there? We don't know. Where is that? Clearly some trailer magic going on. You got the fake Babu Frick. People think it's Babu Frick. It's not Babu Frick. The fake Babu going in there. This is still all the same. Sigourney Weaver's character who's being completely misled. We are supposed to think she's a main character. She's barely going to be in the movie. A lot of, secrets going on over there. Still all the same. And then this is where things change. The next scene in the trailer that we've gotten before would be Din Djarin arriving on that city planet where he goes to see Rada the Hutt in the Gladiator Ring. But no, in this trailer we get the Razor Crest arriving on Navarro. This is hang on. That's a new scene too. We'll get to that. This is Navarro. You can tell by this thing right here from season 3 of The Mandalorian. The leaks that we got a few weeks ago suggested that there was a big old battle for Navarro in this movie that will actually end with the destruction of Din and Grogu's home that is on Navarro. So the Razor Crest being there means New Republic support of some sort, whether it's Zeb in that Razor Crest or not. Either way, this big old battle on Navarro is going to be probably the catalyst for what throws Din Djarin into the deep end, losing Greef Karga, losing his home, all that great stuff. That will probably be what throws him in. But you have now Zeb in the Razor Crest arriving on Navarro. Very, very cool. This is the Adelphi base. You can tell by this in the background. You got R5 right there with the droids following him. These droids are at Disney parks now. They're fully, automated or whatever they are. So you got that, but also Zeb Orrelios. Now, there is actually a way clearer look at this. I have pulled up right here. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. I mean, come on. I'm so excited to see Zeb in live action yet again. I mean, he is in The Mandalorian Season 3, but only for a very brief second on the Adelphi base. He's clearly going to have a way bigger role in this movie, which is awesome. You see him in action for a split second in the original trailer. But here you have him, Din, and Grogu walking around on the Adelphi base. What they're up to, I think they're probably just walking towards the Razor Crest to go on some big old mission. I'm not too sure yet. I don't know what's going on there yet. But this is a new scene, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah. Yes. I wonder how the movie will handle Greef Karga, new actor playing him, or he's just going to be dead off screen. I think, and you guys tell me in the chat, but I think the best way to handle Greef Karga and the sad passing of Carl Weathers would be to just kill him off screen. I don't think it's of the best interest for them to recast Carl Weathers right now. It's very different from the Baylan Skoll situation. Baylan Skoll is going to be a main character of Ahsoka Season 2. So you have to recast that character. You have to change the story. You can't just change the entire story moving forward. Baylan Skoll is still a main character. Greef Karga, although he is an important character in the first 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, he doesn't necessarily have to be a main character of the movie. So he doesn't really have to be that main guy. So you can kill him off screen without having to, give him a brave death. Yeah, I mean, he'll go out in a sort of a heroic way. We might just not see it. Yeah, it might be off screen. There'll be this big old battle for Navarro, and Greef is going to die in that battle. It also gives you the opportunity to sort of give him a funeral, not just for Carl and respecting him as a real life human being, but also the character. Like, Din can have a funeral for Greef Karga and have this moment of like appreciation for the character and the actor at the same time. Sort of similar to what they did with Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther 2, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. They killed him off screen before the movie started, and then they had a funeral for him. I think something similar will happen here with Greef Karga in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Yeah. But this is really cool. Zeb in all his live action glory right there. But let's get back to the trailer. We've seen that. That's the bar fight scene from the original trailer. Them flying in the Razor Crest. So what happens to Zeb? I don't know. Now we finally get a better look here at these ships. Because we were trying to debate what these would be. Okay, that ship right there, the very blurry ship that's going by. We've been talking about maybe it's a TIE fighter, a TIE interceptor, because it's a lot longer in the front. It's not. The other one would be maybe a vulture droid from the prequel trilogy, which would be really cool. There's been prequel references in The Mandalorian before, from like Anakin's pod racer to even B1 and B2 battle droids in season 3. But vulture droids would have been really, really cool. This is not that. Take a look. We finally get to see them being chased by them. And right here, if I can, boom, right there. You get a very good look at what this ship could be. It's not a vulture droid, that's for sure. It's not a TIE fighter, that's also for sure. But what do we think this is? Because I've kind of done some research, and I'm not seeing anything that looks like this. It could be a brand new ship. Could be something we've never seen before in Star Wars, which they've done time and time again with The Mandalorian. But what do we think this is? Thoughts? I think it could be pirates or some Imperial Remnant type stuff. I think this might be the battle for Navarro. As I just said, we just saw the Razor Crest flying in towards Navarro, so it might be a part of that fight. Or it could be on a completely different... I don't really know. Pirate ships. I think it's likely to be pirate ships. The problem with that, though, is we did see pirate ships in Mando Season 3, and this is not what they looked like. Yeah. Pirate snub fighters? It could be. Yeah. Lots of droids in the bar. Oh, the bar, yeah, from Season 3. I think the most likely thing would be a pirate at this point. Because we got the pirate fight on Navarro in Season 3 of The Mandalorian, so it could be a continuation of that. A Huttese interceptor, kind of? Hang on. Do we have a picture of that? If it's something to do with the Hutts, that would be pretty great. Hang on, let's see. Huttese interceptor. Ship. Is this an actual thing? Okay. For some reason, it just pulled up an actual pirate ship in real life. Star Wars. No, not a TIE interceptor. I'm not seeing anything of that sort. Oh, hang on. What is this? Not really. Okay, so I looked up. This is Hutt Starship classes. This sort of looks the most similar, I suppose, with the two wings on the side. That kind of looks like a Mandalorian ship, honestly. But it would make sense if this was a Hutt ship. Because we're getting the twin Hutts in the poster. We got Rod of the Hutt in the trailer. So there's clearly going to be a big Hutt presence. Whether Din and Grogu and I guess maybe even Zeb Orrelios are stealing from the Hutts or saving Rod of the Hutt. Whatever's going on with the Hutts, it's going to be a big part of the story. So it makes sense that this would be a Hutt ship too. Hutts, pirates. I think that's our best bet right here. Yeah. So, mysterious plane, we'll call it that for now. Mysterious ship. At least 3 of them chasing the Razor Crest. You got Grogu swimming, which we got before. The nice Rada scene in the gladiator ring. Then we get this. Now, we are back on that snowy planet. This is the snowy planet where the AT-AT walkers are walking along that cliff where Din Djarin slowly blows up all of them. Is it Hoth? Is it Starkiller Base / Ilum? Is it something else? Tell me in the chat what you think this planet is, the snowy planet from the trailer. Now we get Din Djarin and Grogu on an AT-ST walker. AT-ST, right? An AT-ST walker going down this mountain towards the ATs, towards the AT walkers on the cliff. So there's going to be some big old fight chase scene type deal with the remnant of the Empire and Din and Grogu on this Imperial facility on possibly Hoth, possibly Ilum, possibly something else. Whatever it's going to be, it's an Imperial base, that's for sure. We know that much. And whether they're on a mission, whether this is the beginning of the movie, the end of the movie, honestly, as you see you guys saying in the chat too, my preference would be Ilum, because Ilum eventually turns into Starkiller Base, and we know Starkiller Base is the Death Star of the sequel trilogy. I'd love to see that connection, that connecting piece, giving us maybe, if we're lucky, the Shadow Council with Hux and Project Necromancer, and giving us Starkiller Base itself as it's being constructed. All of that would be amazing. But tell me in the chat, what do we think this is? ATRT. My fault. I was saying ATST. Okay. ATRT. Yeah. They call them chicken walkers. Yeah. The chicken walkers, which, by the way, these are only ever seen in the Clone Wars. So another connection back to that prequel trilogy era where you're getting what clone troopers used to ride on during the fights in the Clone Wars. This is not really an Imperial design. This is an old AT-RT walker. Yeah. They don't show any trees on Hoth, so I don't believe that it is Hoth. Based on that, I'm going to guess Ilum. True, there are trees on this planet, and from what we know, what little we know of the planet of Hoth, there are no trees. Here's the deal. As maybe some of you don't want to happen, this movie is going to connect to the sequels, one way or another. We're still about 25 years until The Force Awakens, so a lot is going to happen in that time. But a small connection like Starkiller Base, what Project Necromancer really is to Palpatine and to the remnant of the Empire right now in the galaxy, that would be enough for me. That would be enough for me of a connection to be like, okay, this is all intertwined. And it's not something that would be new to The Mandalorian itself. You have the cloning facility on Navarro. Again, Navarro. You have the cloning facility on Navarro that Din and Greef Karga and Cara Dune blew up in Season 2. And you've had the whole gist of the entire story be that Grogu is being hunted down by the Empire to use his blood to create a Force-sensitive clone. That's been the entire plot of all 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. That connects directly to Palpatine's plan of coming back to life in the sequel trilogy. So for people who are holding out hope that The Mandalorian will just retcon the sequels or disconnect the sequel trilogy, what are you watching? Like, this has already been very intertwined with the sequel story, with Palpatine returning and all that great stuff. I think it only benefits it, which, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But you have stuff like the Bad Batch, which gives you Omega and all that can lead to Project Necromancer being all that much more important, with Palpatine's return making even more sense. And maybe someday even dollar bills. But now Grogu's intertwined in all that with Din Djarin's story. So you would assume that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, the continuation of those 3 seasons, would continue that. Continue the cloning efforts of the Imperial Remnant. And how they can use Grogu to help benefit that. Hang on. I missed the super chat, I think. Hang on, let me see. Oh, indeed I did. Darth Plagueis Lives is a very generous $10 super chat. Holy crap, that's extremely generous. I appreciate that. Says, happy birthday to Samantha. Take her somewhere nice. We went out last night, and then we're having dinner again tonight. So I appreciate that quite a bit. That super chat will go straight to the Samantha birthday fund. I appreciate it. Also, Mando and Ahsoka? Hype. Yeah. The Ahsoka stuff, as you guys know, gets me really excited. But a new Mando trailer, of course, also very exciting. So I appreciate that. Yes, happy birthday to Samantha. She'll be on the stream later. She's coming on the stream later. So you guys can wish her the happy birthday to her face. But let's get back to the trailer. now that I've been so rudely interrupted, I mean, I really want it to be Starkiller Base. I know it may sound crazy. I know I'm. It seems like the best option. I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but even people who aren't the biggest fan of the sequel trilogy think that Starkiller Base is pretty cool. And for the normie fan, I don't think they know that Ilum is Starkiller Base. Actually, let's be honest, the normie fan probably doesn't even know what Ilum is. However, for people who have seen the Clone Wars, have seen that icy planet that the younglings go to get their kyber crystals, people who have played Jedi Fallen Order, and that's the icy planet where Cal Kestis goes to get his lightsaber fixed, they know that planet, and that planet's Ilum. So it would be really cool connection to have that planet transition into Starkiller Base in The Mandalorian and Grogu on screen in front of us. Really, really cool. Then we get to see them run down the side of this mountain. Now, they are clearly cutting this trailer so that we can't see below this sort of eye level here. So as they come off the cliff, they don't show you what's down there. And if you know Starkiller Base, there's this huge trench in the middle of the planet, which is where the weapon is. So they cut away from it, so you can't see it. And they run down the mountain on the AT-RT and run directly into AT-AT walkers. And if we're piecing this all together, we know that Din Djarin goes in, has a hallway scene in one of the AT walkers, and then blows up another one, makes it fall off the side of the cliff, and all that greatness. This is Din trying to break into an a Hutt vault. You got some guards there, but we've seen this one before, where this giant door, yeah, that's the Hutt symbol right there on the door. So he's trying to steal from the Hutts. Why? I have no idea, but the Hutts, very important to the movie. And there's him blowing up the AT walkers, which we just talked about. There's the trees that are supposedly not on Hoth, but it does suggest Starkiller Base. And this giant cliff, which yet again, they cut away from so you can't see the bottom of it. And our final scene of the trailer is different from the original teaser. And it's Grogu using the Force, quite easily, I might add, to destroy this mouse droid. R.I.P. mouse droid. So we're going to get to see Grogu using the Force a lot better, a lot easier, which is very cool. And this looks to be the same snowy planet. So Grogu, as you can see, this is some snow. If you look behind him, well, it looks like there's snow on the ground right there. But right behind him, you can see some snowy mountaintops there too. So whatever this planet is, whether it's Starkiller Base, whether it's Hoth, whether it's a completely new planet or some other snowy planet we're not thinking of, whatever it is, it's very important to the story. Probably 30% of the scenes that we've gotten from these trailers have been on that planet. So it's got to be pretty damn important, whatever it may be. And Grogu, by the way, not with Din Djarin here. A little concerning. But either way, using the Force, all badass, and destroying the mouse droid. So a handful of new scenes from this new trailer, which is really cool. It suggests to me that we're going to be getting a lot more of this. Similar scenes, but a few new ones sprinkled in, probably for the next 4 or 5 months. You have a lot of Disney movies coming out this winter / into spring, I suppose, that could have a Mando trailer attached to it. For example, Avatar 3. But we even have Zootopia 2 with this new trailer. So I would suggest not getting your hopes up for a brand new trailer of all great new scenes. Instead, you're going to get more stuff like this. So many familiar scenes. The entire beginning of this trailer is the exact same, with sprinkled in new scenes like this. giving you information about what these ships might be, and even just adding really cool stuff like AT-RT walkers running down a snowy cliff on what could be Starkiller Base. Anything and everything that we get for this Mandalorian and Grogu movie just gets me so much more excited. It's still so far away. We're still about 6 months until this movie does release. But we're getting closer and closer, and every single day my hype level continues to grow. Yeah. Do you think we'll get another Mando trailer before a Maul trailer? No. I don't. We just got this Mando trailer. Granted, it hasn't been released publicly yet, but we just watched it like 10 times. It hasn't been released publicly yet, so maybe that gets released. So I guess technically, yes, it would be released before the Maul trailer. But I think Darth Maul, or Maul Shadow Lord, I should say, is a lot closer than we think. I think its release date is going to be in February. I think we'll get a trailer by the end of December. And the hype will just grow all throughout January with trailers left and right. And then by February, we'll be getting the show. Now, it will likely have 16 episodes like the Bad Batch did, which makes it run for probably 14-ish weeks if they do a premiere of 2 episodes and maybe a 2-episode finale. I don't know. But 14 weeks, let's say. 14 weeks from February takes you pretty much all the way till May when The Mandalorian and Grogu comes out. So for me, it makes the most sense that Maul Shadow Lord would come out in February. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was January and we get a trailer for it early December. I don't know. All I know is when Maul Shadow Lord trailer drops, it's going to be like this huge bombshell because right now we got nothing. For Maul Shadow Lord, we have zero. No trailers, no posters, no nothing. So whenever that does drop, it'll be like, oh my God, groundbreaking, craziness, all that great stuff. Yeah. True. So tell me in the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, now having seen this trailer with all the new footage that we got, how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10 for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie? And again, I'll bring up this image because it's awesome. Zeb, Din, and Grogu with R5 in the background, walking on the Adelphi base, which I think will go kaboom, but that's just me. Is that a Mon Calamari right behind him right there? That's pretty cool. Looks like maybe a X-Wing back there, possibly. I mean, it would make sense. It is the New Republic, so yeah. 10 out of 10, 9.7 out of 10, 7.25, okay. 1 million, all right. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, my hype level is probably around like a 8.5. It does continue to grow as we get more of these scenes, which is really cool. So I'm probably climbing up towards a 9. But yeah, we're still 6 months away. I like to, calm myself. Not really. But 9 out of 10, okay. Mike. We need to do something for December, please. Maybe a Skeleton Crew 1-year anniversary rewatch. I got some pretty cool things cooked up for December. We'll put it that way. A little, yeah. We'll leave it at that. Cliffhanger, We'll leave it at that. Yeah. Something really cool is coming your way. We'll put it that way. Yeah. Okay. With that being said, we have to switch gears. Oh, wait. Before we do that, I did have one more thing for the Mandalorian and Grogu. Oh, yeah. Look at this. A big pet peeve of mine, and I know it shouldn't piss me off as much as it does, but it does. A big pet peeve of mine is when people call Grogu Baby Yoda. Because guess what? He's not Baby Yoda. That's just confusing the normie fans. Yoda is Yoda. Grogu is Grogu. Baby Yoda is Baby Yoda. Baby Grogu is Baby Grogu. They're 2 different characters. God! So, Lucasfilm actually helped with this issue. Again, not in English, but I like to think if Grogu could speak right now, you know, if he could speak in this little nice little thing, he would be like, Baby Yoda. I'm not Baby Yoda. I'm Grogu, bitch. Sorry. That's what he'd say, though. I think if Grogu could speak, that's what he'd sound like. He'd be like, don't call me Baby Yoda. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's what he'd say. So, yeah. Lucasfilm, if you're watching, and we know that you are, that's my audition tape for the voice of Grogu, and I hope that you consider me to play the role. Because instead of going, right there, you could have been like, my name's Grogu. And if you get it wrong one more time, I will force choke you to death like I tried to Cara Dune. You forgot? You forgot that I was a Sith Lord and not a Jedi? They thought we wouldn't notice. But we did. So, pretty cool there. Grogu using the Force to correct everybody about his name. His name's Grogu, not Baby Yoda. Yeah. And then we did get this poster like we talked about here. That's not in English, but still gives you Din and Grogu there. In the trailer that came out before Zootopia 2. Jeremy Allen White gave a little bit of an update saying he's the voice of Stinky the Hut in the movie. I'd never done voice work before. There isn't any stop motion work or any physical like that. I was excited to do the job. That is in the world of Star Wars, a world that I admire for a really long time. I was also excited about doing the movie that my daughters can go and see. Of course, he does a lot of serious things, so that's cool too. So Rada returning for the first time since 2008's Clone Wars, where he made his first ever appearance and hasn't been seen ever since. And now he's, gone from a baby to being a fully jacked gladiator in The Mandalorian and Grogu. All right, I think that's all I got on The Mandalorian. The news trailer, a bunch of new scenes, really cool stuff. Now let's talk about Ahsoka Season 2. If you were here on Tuesday's live stream, you know how infuriating that was. You know how frustrating it is when a trailer ends. A live stream ends, and then I start it back up again, and then it ends all of a sudden. It was a disaster. So the Ahsoka Season 2 concept art that we were looking at was really, really cool. Now, we have more. So hopefully, Ahsoka Season 2 concept art was not the real reason that we got shut down on Tuesday, because we're going to be looking at more of it today. So, we got new images. We got, clearer images, I suppose. So let's take a look. Let's start with, I guess, we'll go through quickly the ones that we looked at on Tuesday. Here you have this enhanced image of Ahsoka and Sabine, both lightsabers ignited in some sort of ancient building. I won't say temple, but building, where you have these droids, at least 4 of them, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 swords around them. These droid-looking things attacking them. A little bit of Night Sister magic going on over here on this sword that he's got. Pretty cool. And the Night Sisters did use swords as opposed to lightsabers. So we got that one. That one's really cool. You got this one of Ahsoka and the giant, what looks to be like a celestial from the MCU looking droid. Something we've never seen before in Star Wars, which is just really cool. There's that. You got the They Fly Nows. This flying droid, very celestial looking droid again, flying at Sabine. So it's not just one. We have probably a whole army of droids protecting whatever is in this temple on Peridia. Whatever the glimmer of light at the top of the mountain was that Balon Skull was looking for at the end of Season 1, that is whatever these droids are protecting. Whether it's Abeloth or something else, I think it's Abeloth, but whether it's Abeloth or something completely different, that's what these droids are protecting. Yeah. So there's that one. We got this one of Ahsoka and Sabine. Some, again, really ancient-looking carving out of a stone or wood or whatever this is of some sort of animal. Peridia is really old. That's been made obvious. I mean, Season 1, we got a lot more information about where the Night Sisters came from, this other galaxy, and how they tamed the Purgle and learned to ride them and all that greatness, and how they ended up on Dathomir, all that, and how this used to be a full, kingdom, I guess, on Peridia of Night Sisters, and now it's all a wasteland. They all died or they were all destroyed by one thing or another. Yeah. So, then we have hang on. We looked at that one, we looked at that one. This one. Ahsoka and Sabine looking out at some sort of sunset, probably a training sequence, I would guess. Ahsoka and Sabine training a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. Now, I know I just said for Mando and Grogu that it's still 8 months away, so my hype level isn't as high. For Ahsoka Season 2, I don't care how far away it is. My hype level is through the roof, okay? It's 1,000,000 out of 10. It's so unbelievably hype that I can't even fathom how excited I am for this show. Partly because of how much of a cliffhanger Season 1 was and how great you could be going into with the Mortis gods and Abeloth and all that really cool stuff. But you add on to that the fact that we could be getting a war in our Star Wars with Grand Admiral Thrawn versus the New Republic, Night Sisters, and all that greatness. I mean, come on. The hype is through the roof. So tell me in the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Ahsoka Season 2? Tell me. That's how I feel about Mandalorian and Grogu. That's the thing, too. Many of you probably are like, Mike, you're crazy. I'm not that excited for Ahsoka Season 2, or maybe you're right there with me. But either way, you're either like, Mike, you're crazy, or you're saying, I'm way more excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu, or Maul Shadowlord, or Starfighter, which we also will be talking about today. And that's, first of all, perfectly okay, and that's the best thing about being a Star Wars fan. But look at this. 10 out of 10, 7.5, 9, 10, 10, 9.999, 8.4, 10 out of 10, 7.5, 8 out of 10. I'm most excited for Starfighter. See, exactly. You got people who are most excited for all different projects because they all, appeal to different people. Because the Star Wars fandom is enormous. Yeah. So you got this one of Ahsoka and Sabine looking out at some sort of sunset there. Then you got a Night Sister right there, looking badass as ever. Let me close those. Then you got these Night Sisters in action, taking down some New Republic soldiers. These are the ones we looked at on Tuesday's live stream, so I'm just going through them very quickly here. This is one of my personal favorites. You got Enoch up top here, and right below him on Dathomir is Harrison Dula, Ezra Bridger, and Chopper, which does go along with the leaks we talked about of Ezra, Hera, and Chopper going on a secret stealth mission to Dathomir, going through the underground caverns, and Ezra coming face-to-face with some sort of CGI or not on set monster or person. That's also really cool. Jessica, what's up? How we doing? So there's that. Enoch looking for them and them hiding underneath. And maybe Chopper got some damage. I don't know what's going on. Why is Hera doing that? I don't know, but that one's really cool. That one is really cool. You got Ezra and others, Elon Musk back here, going to their X-Wings, probably to fight in some big old battle, which is going to be really cool. That's the actual concept of it. Then you got General Grievous, Huge Wang, Hu Yang, with the 4 lightsabers, about to battle Shin Hati. So you're going to get Huge Wang in Hu Yang, I apologize. Hu Yang in action, which is going to be great. Yes, that'll be fantastic. It's Omega? Who's Omega? Enoch? No way. There's no way. Did you hear that Claudia Black is not returning for season 2? Yes. We will talk about that in a second. Yeah. Claudia Black does play the main Night Sister, Night Mother, Great Mother. Great Mother? Yeah, Great Mother. She was the main Great Mother, and the news is that she's not returning. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a second. Yeah. But this is Huge Wang, General Grievous, which is just badass as hell. Next, we got Bale and Skull looking up at Ahsoka's ship on the snowy mountaintop. Not to be confused with the snowy mountaintops of the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, which we were just looking at. But this is the snowy mountaintop of Peridia, where we do see this same doorway that Ahsoka was going into to, free Abeloth, we assume. But this is a really cool one, too. This was one of the new ones that we got on Tuesday, and we do have a couple new ones today, too. Then you got Thrawn entering what looks to be the Chimera's bridge. Again, this is just concept art, so Thrawn will not be looking like that in the show itself. And I believe this is where we get to the new things. Yeah. So the rest from here on out are ones we haven't talked about yet. Ones we didn't even get to on Tuesday. Now, the first one here is pretty damn exciting and might even indicate how and maybe why Hera, Chopper, and Ezra go to Dathomir. So this is a very blurry one, but it's concept art from Star Wars Celebration that I have not seen before. And here you have what looks to be very, destroyed and burning down here. A TIE fighter that looks like it might be destroyed off to the right. But this is the Phantom. The Phantom is the sort of smaller ship that attaches to the back of the Ghost. Before it was the... What was the name of the old Phantom? Because one of them got destroyed in an early season of Rebels. And then they replaced it with the Phantom. But I can't think for the life of me what the name of that was. Does anybody in the chat know? Anybody in the chat know? How many of you read the Timothy Zahn books? I mean, which ones? Because the Legends Heir to the Empire ones, and then there's the canon ones. Yeah. Yeah. The Phantom and the Phantom 2? Was it just the Phantom 2? I thought it had a different name. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it had a completely different name. The more you know. Okay, so this is the Phantom 2, I suppose. Mike, is there a giveaway today? Did I miss it? Sorry, things are difficult at the moment. My attention is elsewhere right now. What? Elsewhere? Not completely 100% focused on the people who love Star Wars? What the hell is wrong with you? No, I'm kidding. But no, we have not done the giveaway yet. That will happen later on in the live stream. Yes. Indeed. But here we got the Phantom 2 going toe-to-toe with the Chimera, Grand Admiral Thrawn's flagship, which is really cool. I'm assuming this is in the atmosphere outside of Dathomir. Maybe when they're arriving, but it could be when they're leaving. But this indicates that there will be a big old space battle, or big old battle in the skies, I suppose, of the New Republic versus the Empire. Versus, specifically, Thrawn and the Chimera. Which leads us perfectly to the next bit, which is this. Thrawn, on his throne, looking at some sort of war map, it looks like. This is some sort of galaxy up in front of him, and he is probably reading out, as he is a genius, a tactical genius, getting to see this Thrawn probably reading the battlefield out in front of him, which is this fight scene, I assume, this fight scene where the Phantom goes toe-to-toe with the Chimera. Thrawn is probably inside of that Chimera doing this and probably 10 steps ahead. And honestly, it might be a crash landing on Dathomir for Hera, Chopper, and Ezra, and that's why they're maybe stranded there, or I don't know. Either way, we're going to get to see Thrawn in his natural habitat. We're going to get to see Thrawn where he is best, which is sitting in that throne and holding the ropes of an entire battlefield. He is in control. He knows what's going on everywhere. Yeah. Season 2 is going to be action-filled. Oh, 100%. You're getting a war in our Star Wars in one galaxy, which just means battles, space battles, ground battles, battles everywhere. And then in a different galaxy, you're getting Ahsoka versus They Fly now. Where is it? Oh, did I exit out already? Oh, well, you got this. Giant droids, Ahsoka and Sabine versus other giant droids. Like, there's going to be so much action in the second season, which is crazy because you look back at season 1, you have Shin versus Sabine. Shin versus Sabine part 2. Ahsoka versus Balin. Ahsoka versus Balin part 2. Ahsoka versus Anakin in the World Between Worlds. You have Ahsoka versus the what the hell was his name? Marok. Yes. Ahsoka versus Marok in the woods. Ahsoka versus Morgan Elsbeth. There are so many fight scenes in that first season. Mostly lightsaber on lightsaber fight scenes, and I think season 2 is going to be more of just fight scenes, not just lightsaber ones, but others as well. Space fights, blaster fights, not just exclusively the lightsaber duels that we see in season 1. However, you could be getting some lightsaber duels. Let's not forget Sabine and Ahsoka and Ezra still own lightsabers, so there's that too. I appreciate the hearts, guys. I really do. I do see those. So you do have that as well. But you're going to get to see a lot of action, a lot of fights in this second season. A war in our Star Wars. You can't just say that and then not give us really cool fight scenes. You can't just do that. Okay? Okay. So there's that. Grand Admiral Thrawn in his natural habitat where he should be, being all badass. Then and then there's this. Star Wars is so great. You know? Let's just take a moment and appreciate the greatness. Shall we? Chopper with a giant machine gun lighten something up. It doesn't look like this is on the Ghost, but it could be. I don't know where he is, but this is so awesome. Dave Filoni at Star Wars Celebration did promise us that Chopper would be more evil in this second season because for some reason fans love that. He is a, murderer. He's he's crazy, but we're getting more of that in season 2. So if you missed out on Chopper in season 1, because let's be honest, there's very little problems I have with season 1, but the lack of Chopper is evident. He's only in a few scenes. He's going to be all badass in the action in season 2, which is very, very exciting. Yeah. So that one's awesome. We did not look at that one yet. And then I think we got 2 more here. Yeah, so I'm going to save probably my favorite for last. Here you got, again, what looks like Dathomir. All the red smoke and all that makes you think Dathomir. New Republic soldiers dying to stormtroopers. They're not pulling any punches in the second season. We're going straight to Dathomir and having a space battle and a ground assault of New Republic soldiers. How does that end? I'm going to assume that Thrawn, wipes them all out. That this is not going to end well for the New Republic at all. It might be the eye-opening thing that makes the New Republic actually realize that Thrawn is a big threat, because in season 1 they were like, nah, Thrawn's nothing. He's not the heir to the Empire. He's just a little big blue meanie, We don't care about him. Nah, we're fine. This might be what makes them realize that Thrawn is a big deal. The New Republic goes to Dathomir to try and stop Thrawn, or maybe they just go to Dathomir because they're like, oh, Thrawn's back? Let's go check that out. Because Ezra might be like, hey, Thrawn's back. And he's on Dathomir because that's where Ezra was too. So they might go to scout this out. They might go to check it out, what Thrawn is up to, and be absolutely decimated by Stormtroopers, Night Sisters, and Thrawn himself. And that's when the New Republic starts to take him seriously, after they lose most of their people. Maybe that's where Akbar comes in too, because Hera wants to go to Dathomir, and the New Republic probably says no. And then Akbar, who's, awesome, is like, I'll do it. I volunteer as tribute. And then he takes his men and goes to Dathomir with Hera Syndulla, and they all die. It's possible. It's very possible. Those are night troopers. They just look like regular stormtroopers from here, but I mean, you assume so, right? The thing is, Thrawn has those night troopers from Dathomir, but not many of them. There's really not that many. So he's going to need more of an army in this second season. He has the remnant of the Empire, but as we've seen through the first 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, it's pretty weak. Like, even Moff Gideon's army is not really an army. He just has a few stormtroopers here or there. So he's going to have to, get an army. That's a big deal. They all die. I think this is going to be early episodes of season 2. They go on a mission to Dathomir, and they all die. Maybe not Chopper, Hera, and Ezra, but all these soldiers, they're dead. And it's going to be a huge loss for the New Republic. I think it'll happen early on in the season because it will establish how big of a threat Thrawn actually is and give him a big win that people are hoping for. Yeah. And then what I saved personally for last, because it's got me so excited, is this image. Sabine and Ahsoka, and you can see this image of Ahsoka on the thumbnail for today because it's so cool, riding those wolf-looking things from Peridea through these caverns. The stuff on Peridea is so cool because it's brand new. Anything and everything that they do on Peridea, every new creature we see, every new droid we see, everything that happens on this planet, in this different galaxy, is going to be new, which is just so unbelievably cool. So whatever's happening here, whatever cavern this is, could be going to see, the prison where Abeloth is being held. I don't know. Could be them going to train. I don't know. But everything that happens on this planet is going to be so important, so cool, and I can't wait. Like, it's just going to be awesome from start to finish. So here you have it, Ahsoka the White, as she has been dubbed, and Sabine walking through some caverns. So some new, some old, some, enhanced, and some just really freaking cool. Like the Phantom going face to face, toe to toe with the Chimera. Really, really cool stuff. So all this concept art for Ahsoka Season 2, by the way, none of this is images from set. None of this is official footage from the show. It's all just concept art. So if the concept art is this cool, imagine what they made in live action. Imagine what they actually did in the show. Like, this is just stills, probably from the first couple episodes of concept art that they showed to us at Star Wars Celebration. Imagine what they did with the actual show. Oh, Ahsoka Season 2 has me so hyped up. So hyped up. You're talking about expanding the lore of the Force, expanding the lore of the Mortis gods, while also giving you the heir to the Empire, a story from the last 30 years, finally shown in live action in canon. With the big blue meanie, Grand Admiral Thrawn, one of the greatest villains in Star Wars history. Finally, in all his glory, being badass, sitting in his throne, doing his thing, being the tactical genius that he is, in winning a war. Yeah, the Chimera, magic. You're getting Night Sisters too. You want Night Sisters from the Clone Wars? You got it. Oh, hang on. You got it. You want a war in our Star Wars? You got it. You want Grand Admiral Thrawn being a badass again? You got it. Ahsoka Season 2 has all of it. And we might, just a cherry on top, be getting a flashback to explain the Mortis gods with Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, and Ariana Greenblatt as Ahsoka Tano. young Ahsoka Tano, explaining the Mortis gods to normie fans who didn't watch the Clone Wars, and explaining the Mortis gods to Sabine and I guess Huge Wang and others who didn't see them. Sorry, the Mortis gods, that is. Yeah, it's got me a little bit excited, just a little bit. Don't want to get too excited, but
this is where the fun begins.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. Exactly. It's going to be awesome. Concept art doesn't always get to the final product, but these sure did. Oh, yeah. A lot of these definitely did. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them did. This wasn't concept art from like 10 years ago. This wasn't concept art from the first season. This was concept art from a week before. Not even a week. A couple days before they started filming. This was at Star Wars Celebration. Days before they started filming. So this was the latest concept art before they started making this reality. Before they created the show. So this is the closest thing that we have to any actual footage of the show. Because you won't be getting an Ahsoka Season 2 trailer probably until the spring. Probably until the Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes out. So don't be holding your breath for that, because you'll be holding your breath for a really long time. Yeah. So there's that. There is that. Okay. Let's let's talk about the Great Mother. The Great Mother actress, Claudia Black, will not return. Oh, hang on. Fix that. Oh, there we go. Will not return for Ahsoka Season 2. While promoting her latest project, actress Claudia Black was in an interview with Bleeding Cool, who asked her about her role in Ahsoka, where she played the Great Mother, yes. Whatever her name is. The Great Mother. When asked if she was going to be in Season 2, which is due to air on Disney Plus sometime next year, probably September or October if I were to guess, she was frank and open about the fact that she was not able to return to the role. In an open discussion, the actress stated that she was signed up for the second season, but due to changes in the conditions set out by Disney, she no longer felt that the pay offered was enough for her to rejoin the cast, and sadly chose to part ways with the production. She said this: "Well, I'm going to be transparent. They picked up Season 2, picked me up with it, and then Disney, which is structuring things differently these days, especially with the streaming stuff, could not pay me what I needed to be paid as a single mother to keep all the responsibilities going at home in Los Angeles because they were filming in London. It was not something that they could make happen, and therefore I had to bow out for Season 2. So this isn't a scenario where like, oh, I think the actress is lying and she'll be in Season 2. I actually think she's telling the truth here, in that they just didn't give her enough money to uproot her life and go live in London for months and months and months and leave her children and her life at home. It was impossible, so she couldn't do it. Now the problem becomes the Great Mother probably has a role in Season 2. Not that big of a role, but probably is in the second season. Right? So did they recast her? What's the deal there? Let's continue. Claudia Black is a veteran sci-fi actress. Having had main roles in TV series Farscape and Stargate, as well as movie roles including Pitch Black and voice acting for video games across numerous franchises, including Mass Effect, she joined the cast of Ahsoka to play the Great Mother, one of the Great Mothers, the leader of the Night Sisters based in the extragalactic home world of Peridia. She was then aiding Thrawn in delaying the efforts of Ahsoka and her allies to allow the Grand Admiral to escape back to the home galaxy, bringing them to the Night Sister planet of Dathomir. The Great Mothers went with him to that planet, so they should still be there. Despite being sad about not returning, she was full of enthusiasm, full of support for the opportunity of working in the galaxy far, far away, which she described as a very playful environment to be working in. She shared her gratitude for the experience and for working with the cast and crew, recalling she sent Dave Filoni an email saying, "Thanks for the ride." She also praised the technology of the volume, seeing it as the next evolution in filmmaking technology that George Lucas had developed while making his Star Wars films. As Star Wars always does, it continues to expand and improve the technology of making films. She also talked about the joy of filming something her younger son could relate to, as he's a big fan of the Clone Wars, and who, despite his mother not being able to talk about her work due to the NDAs, quickly identified the role that she was playing from small snippets of conversations. He was like, "Are you talking about Night Sisters? What's the show?" He heard one little thing and was like, "I know exactly what she was talking about." So it is fun to go inside and do something relatable to him, but very sad to not be able to continue at the end of the day. So that must have been really cool, like finding out that your mom is going to be a Night Sister in the upcoming Star Wars project. That's pretty awesome. However, it is kind of concerning a little bit because what are they going to do? I guess they can just recast her. In all honesty, she is a Night Sister. She's in all makeup, all that stuff. Won't be that hard to convey the same character. And the Great Mothers probably won't have that big of a role in this second season. But tell me in the chat, do you think this is a concern? Do you think we should be worried? Do you think the Night Mothers or the Great Mothers won't be in this second season at all? What do we think? What do we think? They'll just recast her. She wore so much makeup that the likeness will not be an issue. Yeah, it's not like recasting Balin Skull, which is very hard to do because, that's a main character going into the second season. That's, of course, a very different scenario. However, this is not a big main character, but Claudia Black is sort of a, well-known commodity. Many people are kind of upset about this. Didn't one say that she was leaving anyway? I don't think so. That's also a big complaint I've been seeing too, is people are like, why didn't they just pay her more money? If she didn't have a big role in the second season, you can't just pay her multiple extra, whatever it may be, to just have her be in London away from her family for months and months on end. So for me, it's not like the end of the world. It's like, yeah, I wish she was still in the show, and I think her role would have been very small anyway in season 2, but it's kind of a bummer. Even if it was small, they couldn't just fly her out for a couple days to do whatever she had to do and then come back. I don't know. Either way, you tell me in the chat, because Ahsoka season 2, although it has been very exciting and hyping, this is sort of the first bad news we've gotten about it. The Great Mother shall not return. Or at least Claudia Black will not be returning to play the Great Mother. Yeah. True. Okay. I think that was all I wanted to talk about when it came to Ahsoka. Yes, I think that's it. But we do have to talk about Star Wars Starfighter. Not only did we get who the composer is going to be for the movie, but Sean Levy has said quite a few things when it comes to this movie that explain so much. So we actually have this interview that I wanted to watch. Wait, what? What happened? Did I close that tab? I have this interview with Sean Levy and Kevin McCarthy. Let me see if I can find this now. I thought I had this already opened. Aha, there it is. Sean Levy and Kevin McCarthy. And let's take a look at this. Yeah. So before we watch this interview, let's read this because it talks about the composer who's doing the score. So let's take a look at this. Sean Levy reveals that Star Wars Starfighter's composer, and he is, of course, so stoked. As Levy prepares to leave his mark on the Star Wars franchise, the director has enlisted a maestro, Mike English, a maestro to compose the movie's score. Star Wars Starfighter's director recently revealed that the 15-time Oscar nominee, that's crazy, 15-time Oscar nominee Thomas Newman will score the upcoming installment. Now, it's very hard to, score a Star Wars project because you're following in the footsteps of the great John Williams, the greatest composer of all time. Pretty hard to do. You've had people like Ludwig, who did the Mandalorian score, which is incredible. I mean, we just watched it in the trailer. But you've had the Kiner brothers, or Kiner bros, doing the Clone Wars soundtrack and Rebels soundtrack and Ahsoka soundtrack and Bad Batch soundtrack, all the animation stuff for the most part. And you've had, who else has scored some Star Wars? I'm sure I'm missing some, but it's always hard to, compete or even be in the same world as John Williams, who did all of the Star Wars movies, except for Rogue One, I think. And, of course, created the iconic sound of Star Wars. Because let's be honest, Star Wars is great. It wouldn't be the Star Wars that we know and love today without the music. Without John Williams, I don't think it works. It may work, but it might not work nearly as well. George Lucas created this universe. He created this incredible story, and it's all fan-freaking-tastic. The music plus that other stuff makes it. It's a combination of both. So, Thomas Newman. Let's talk about him. This movie, which is set to premiere in theaters on May 28th, 2027 in the United States. Deadline reached out to Lucasfilm, but they didn't say anything, I suppose. So, who is Thomas Newman? Well, let's take a look here, because he's done a ton of stuff. Let's see. Thomas Newman. I just had this pulled up. Where'd it go? Yes, here we go. Thomas Newman, probably the most known for, Shawshank Redemption's soundtrack, but also Skyfall, the 007 movie, Finding Nemo, and WALL-E, so two Pixar movies there. Or Pixar? I think they're both Pixar. Pixar movies there. So some pretty iconic movie scores. Also, 15-time Oscar nominee is pretty good too. So, Thomas Newman, didn't really know him too much, but when I looked up his filmography, pretty damn impressive. I'm excited to see what he does with a Star Wars project. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But let's take a look closer here at this Sean Levy and Kevin McCarthy interview, because they talk about not just Thomas, but they also talk about the plot of the movie, and they talk about some other stuff too. So we'll get into that in 1 second. But before we even get to this, we do have a special guest today, Chad. So, and today, as I mentioned before, is indeed her, yeah, you can pull that up, is her birthday. And we do have some stuff to review, but she can actually hear this news because, it's Starfighter and she can listen to Starfighter stuff. So introducing, for the first time in a long time, Samantha.
Hello, everyone.
Look at this. Hang on. Could you talk into it again?
Hello.
Can you guys hear her? Say again. One more time. Try again. One more time.
Hello.
What's going on? Can you guys hear her? I can't hear her. Now try. Uh-oh. We can't hear you.
Hello, hello.
One more time.
Hello, hello, hello. Can we hear me, chat?
I don't know if we can. Hang on. Wait, can you hear me now? Oh, wait, say something.
Hello?
Aha, we have sound. Okay. Introducing the birthday girl, Samantha. Wait. Where did my birthday things go?
I don't know. I wasn't here. No birthday things.
They're missing.
Dang.
What the heck? Is it behind you? Aha, they're right there. Go grab that thing. The little the thing. You know the thing? Yeah, that thing. No, just this thing. See? There you go. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. So get some happy birthdays in the chat too, Samantha. As you can see, I mean, look at this chat is kind of crazy today, which we do indeed like.
Hello, chat.
Look at this. Okay, so there we go. Yes. So we talked about the Mandalorian and Ahsoka season 2 already today, which are two projects that you don't really know much about, which is good because you're not supposed to.
Well, I was watching a little bit, so I know a little bit now.
But either
Not
way,
much.
we're talking about Starfighter now, which is great because you can hear all you want about Starfighter because it is completely new. It's not connected to anything else. It's not a sequel. It's not a prequel. It's not anything. So you can listen to Starfighter news all you want because it won't spoil anything for any upcoming things that you
Let's go.
you are going to see. Now, we will get into your reviews for the stuff coming soon. We watched, since we last saw you on the show, we've watched the prequels. We've watched The Bad Batch, all 3 seasons. We watched Solo and half of Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll review all of that in due time. But let's take a look at Sean Levy here talking to Kevin McCarthy. I have some timestamps, so at 3:30, let's go to that first. We got here, volume up.
Was 1977, and I just remember, I mean, I loved Star Wars, I loved Empire, but boy, I must have been somewhere in my adolescence for Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Is that 84, 83,
I think
or
so.
84?
I think it's 83. That's my favorite of the
Let me
trilogy.
tell you something, people, I have not said this out loud because everyone's like, which Star Wars movie is Starfighter the most like? Which is it the most inspired by? If I'm being honest, I know the cool answer would be Empire.
Sure.
And sort of the inarguable answer would be New Hope.
Yeah.
But it's kind of Jedi. It's Jedi because the combination of theme, levity, adventure, heart, spectacle, somehow that movie just got it right for me. And I saw that movie so many times in a theater, more times in a theater than New Hope and Empire, and it stuck with me. And
So the fact that this movie is most like Jedi is really strange because most things do like to take from Empire because Empire Strikes Back is arguably most fans' favorite Star Wars movie. It's not mine, but it's most fans. And A New Hope is the baseline of the first ever Star Wars and all that stuff. Jedi it's the beginning of the divide in the Star Wars fandom, I suppose, because of the Ewoks. The teddy bears saved the galaxy, and people didn't like that. If you weren't a child, you were like, why are these teddy bears saving the galaxy? But you do have more of this adventure story. It starts with the stuff with Jabba's palace, Jabba's barge, Han Solo coming out of Carbonite. This whole story that's not really connected to Vader, Palpatine, or anything like that. And then as soon as that ends, you get that of it's a conflict between father and son and all this battle versus good versus evil. Empire versus Ewoks and the Republic as well, or the Rebellion at the time, I suppose. But it's more of a action adventure movie than I guess the other two movies are. And honestly, when it comes to Starfighter, we don't know much at all. Ryan Gosling is, of course, the star with a character that is a child. Maybe he's playing an Ewok. I don't know. But either way, Force-sensitive Ewok would be pretty cool. The fact that it's the most like most like Return of the Jedi might concern some fans if they're anti-Ewok, but that's a very, I guess, unpopular opinion to have. Are you pro Ewok?
Pro Ewok,
There
for
you go.
sure.
Yeah, cute teddy bears.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one I had was at 9:30. Let's see. I did these timestamps yesterday, and I already forget what they are. Let's see.
Think about Jaws, for example. That became the movie it became because of the problems they were up against.
I just saw a Guillermo del Toro interview where he talks about, I mean, wasn't it going to be Andrew Garfield?
Yes.
Was going to be his monster.
Yeah.
And someone said, well, when that didn't work out and it's a Lordy, he's like, there are no accidents. And it's all about embracing what circumstance throws at you and finding a way. I mean, we're both friendly with Ryan Reynolds, who famously tells the story of counting bullets in Deadpool as a solve for budget limitations.
Yeah.
And I'd say on most of my movies, there was something unexpected. On Starfighter, it was, we had a whole different idea for something in the third act, and then things didn't align, and I was forced to come up with a new idea. And I'm literally right now shooting that section of the movie.
Wow.
And every day I'm grateful that the way I was supposed to do it didn't work out.
Wow.
Because the new idea that it forced me to explore is so much better than the original idea would have been.
How are you?
So before they continue, he just first of all said that the end of the movie is completely changed. What he originally designed to be the third act of the movie, the end of the film, is thrown out the window, and now they've completely changed and reworked the entire thing. But he also said that they're filming it right now. So they're at the third act of the movie right now in end of November, going into early December. So it's likely that the filming of this movie will end by January, which was that rumored end date, which you're not going to get any trailer anytime soon for this movie. Probably not till this time next year, because it doesn't come out till 2027. But leaks, set photo leaks, because Sean Levy has already posted 3 photos from set photo leaks, just maybe some sort of plot leaks or anything, what Matt Smith might be playing, because he doesn't join the cast and crew until December. He's supposed to be the main villain of the movie. He doesn't show up until the last month of filming. What's going on there? Who he's playing, whether it's a Sith or a pirate or a Yuzon Vong or something crazy like that. All of that might be revealed over the next month and a half as the filming comes to a close. It does sound a little bit concerning that they completely reworked the end of the movie, but he does make it sound like a good spin because it's supposed to be better than what he came up with in the first place. But I remind you that Solo and Rogue One, 2 very popular, I suppose, Star Wars movies. Solo, not so much. But Rogue One went through disasters behind the scenes, getting new writers and getting all this other stuff. Tony Gilroy coming in and saving the day. Either way, we'll talk about Solo in a second too, and how underrated that movie is. But those went through some crazy production errors, and this kind of sounds very similar to that with the whole third act changing. Now, let's just press play.
Feeling at this exact. I know you have
Jet lagged is the short answer.
Yeah, but I mean, but to I imagine you, like you said a little bit ago, like that kid version of you watching Star Wars and now directing your own Star Wars film. You've been on major sets. Deadpool and Wolverine was a massive set. You've done major films. This one has to feel a little different, I have to imagine.
It does feel different. It's harder and a more unique pressure than any other movie you could make. Because you go into it understanding how deeply emotional the connection with audiences is. Now, you could argue that's true of Marvel, that's true of other franchises, but nothing is as religious an allegiance as Star Wars. And so the pressure, self-inflicted mostly, to get it right, that's intense. And I'll admit to you, the first few weeks of shooting, it felt like this oppressive sort of this cloud over me, because every day, they would come to me. It's 100 questions a day. And especially with Starfighter, it's not a sequel. It's not a prequel. It is not legacy characters, and it's not in a period of time in the galaxy that's ever been explored.
It's 5 years after right?
9, after Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But what this means is that we are inventing everything in this movie. And the desire to make design choices, character choices, planet choices, costume choices, droid choices, alien choices, all of it needs to feel Star Wars-y. But I am freaking determined to not let any of it feel derivative or lazily copycat. And I'll say, so far, the encouragement I've gotten from Disney and from Kathy Kennedy and Lucasfilm to forge new ground. It's been the one constant ever since I gave them an outline of this idea that Jonathan Tropper and I cooked up.
So, before they continue, this is Sean Levy and exactly why we wanted him to make a Star Wars movie. He is exactly who you want to pave the pathway post-sequels. We talk about this all the time on the live stream, but it's making new droids, new ships, new galaxy, new government. What does post-sequels look like? Because right now with The Mandalorian and all this stuff, you are limited by the sequel trilogy. We eventually lead to the First Order, Kylo Ren, Rey, all that eventually happens. So you have to lead to that. With this movie, with Starfighter, you have zero limitations, but that also comes with the responsibility to make new droids, new characters, new ships, new everything. When we watched The Acolyte, one of the big things is you're going 150 years before anything. 150 years ago in the real world, what life looked like then. It's the mid 1800s. They didn't have cars. They didn't have TV. They didn't have radio. They didn't have anything. They didn't have this. They wouldn't be able to hear us talk about Star Wars.
So sad.
So sad. So it wouldn't have any of that. So 150 years before in Star Wars with the Acolyte, new droids, new ships, new everything. And that's what they had to create with that world. With Starfighter, it's even more crazy because it's not having to be something that looks like a prequel or something that looks like an early rendition of an R2 unit. It's what the future of an R2 unit looks like with BB-8. How do you go from R2-D2 to an upgraded R2-D2? You make him a ball that can roll around in the sand. So what do you make now? What's the upgraded version of that? What's the government look like now that the First Order is gone and the New Republic went kaboom by the Starkiller base? All that stuff is what does the galaxy look like post everything? And what the galaxy will look like moving forward post everything. That's the impossible objective that Sean Levy has to do here, but it is really, really cool to see, like, what can he cook up with that? And let's ask your opinion on this. A big issue that people have, and of course, chat, you can chime in too, is Ryan Gosling. So Ryan Gosling is a big A-list actor in Star Wars. Of course, if you know his name, he's probably a pretty big actor. So Ryan Gosling being a big-time actor, coming over to Star Wars and being the lead role in this movie is a concern for many Star Wars fans, or many fans in general, because Star Wars in the past and forever has pretty much taken nobody actors and made them stars, household names. And that's why it sort of disconnects you from the real world because you don't know who they are. Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, they are now household names, but that's because of Star Wars. Even the sequels, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, they weren't in anything before Star Wars, and now they're household names. Even Adam Driver had a few things, but nothing like Star Wars. And Ewan McGregor was kind of, he had some indie hits type deal, but Hayden Christensen, a nobody. Natalie Portman, a nobody. And now they're household names. So
What about, was Pedro Pascal? Was that?
Pedro Pascal he'd been in a couple things. Narcos was a big show. He was in Walking Dead. He was in Game of Thrones. He was in Game of Thrones for a couple episodes, and he was good in that. But no, Star Wars took him from pretty big star to superstar, and now he's Reed Richards, and he's in everything. But the TV shows kind of do differ a little bit. I mean, The Acolyte was a pretty loaded cast. Amanda Steinberg was a nobody, really, but the Master Soul was the lead of Squid Games, the biggest Netflix series of all time. Master Indara was the what's her face from The Matrix. She was in The Matrix. Carrie Ann Moss is a ton of things. So you had some bigger actors in the shows, like Pedro Pascal, and even Carl Weathers, who we talked about earlier. So the shows are a little bit different, but for the movies, for the most part, it has been the main characters are nobodies. Some of the other side characters have been Samuel L. Jackson is Mace Windu. Even Liam Neeson is Qui-Gon in The Phantom Menace. He's a big actor at the time. Alec Guinness is the original Obi-Wan, and he was an Academy Award-winning actor at the time. But again, these are side characters in the movie, not the main characters. So a big issue people have is that Ryan Gosling is the main character, and he's this huge superstar. The argument is, one, he will put asses in seats, he'll sell tickets, and two, we don't want a familiar face because it takes you out of it. Thoughts?
I mean, I guess the hope with casting a big actor is yes that they're gonna draw attention to the movie and get people to see it. But I guess the other hope with it is that if they're a good actor, you hope that they're famous, or if they're a big actor, you hope that they're famous because they're a good actor and they know what they're doing and they're able to play a role, which is part of it. But I mean, yeah, even just like to compare, I just saw Wicked like the last weekend, and Ariana Grande is huge and she plays one of the main characters. And I honestly didn't feel too much like when I was looking at her that I was looking at Ariana Grande. I felt like I was looking at her character. So, I mean, I guess the hope is that he plays the character well enough that you're not looking at him and seeing somebody else. But that's definitely a bit of a concern.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. There's some roles that like the actor's so good at that it's almost like, especially with a movie like Wicked, Ariana Grande might just be Glinda the Good Witch forever.
That's true.
Like that might be who she is now, and that's might be what Star Wars is too. Whatever Ryan Gosling's character might be, that might be his identifying role for his entire career, and that's possible. I think for so many people though, like Ryan Gosling has been so many things, and you just sit down to watch a Star Wars movie and you're like, that's Ken or like whatever he is,
Right.
and that might be distracting and problematic for some. I think it's a kind of a stupid argument. Like we have had big stars in Star Wars. I don't sit there and watch The Phantom Menace and be like, Qui-Gon Jinn, oh my God, did they take his daughter? Because he's the main guy in Taken. I will find you and I will kill you. No. So I don't have any of that stuff, but it's never been the case where it's like a main character. And Pedro Pascal is under a mask the entire time, so that's not an issue either as the Mandalorian until he dies in this movie, but that's another... It's not a spoiler. It's just what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Possibly a spoiler.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you just hope that the story is good enough and the film itself is good enough that it's not too much of a concern. But
Yeah.
he has his face at the end of the day, so there's only so much you can do.
Could put his face under a mask.
You could put his face under a mask.
Or you could, make him an alien. That's the benefits of Star Wars.
Sure.
Okay. Let's, I got another one here. Does it just keep going? Let's just keep going.
Longtime collaborator.
Yes, I've done several movies with him. He wrote The Adam Project, among other things.
This is where I leave you.
This is where I leave you. He did a movie. He wrote a movie I produced with Ed Harris and Sudeikis called Kodachrome. But again, it all started, and I know we're all over the place.
No, so this is okay, man. We're
I
two
hope
nerds,
this format's
man.
okay.
We're geeking out.
But literally, I was editing. All the Light We Cannot See. We were still trying to craft story on Deadpool Wolverine, and it was August of 2022. I can't remember if it was before or after the fateful call from Hugh Jackman that cracked open that movie, but it was Kathleen Kennedy. And I'm like, hi, Kathleen Kennedy. And I knew her a little bit because I was one of probably 50 directors who raised their hand with interest 9-10 years ago when Disney first acquired Lucasfilm. And she called and she said, I want you to do Star Wars. And I said, which one? And she said, anyone you want. And I said, right, but like which character, what movie is it connecting to? She goes, make it original. You pick the writer, you pick the story, just make it feel like a Sean Levy movie. Make it warm-hearted and fun and built for audience delight. That was the only mandate. And so I picked Jonathan Tropper. We came up with a new story from scratch, and we created these characters. And at every step, I have to say, the encouragement we're getting to embrace the new. And then we went to Star Wars Celebration in Tokyo, maybe it was April. And the excitement I felt in that place, not only around Gosling, who is just the shit. He's so cool.
So good.
With all love and respect to my other handsome Canadian Ryan. Gosling is, he's a remarkable talent, and he's never done a franchise. And so it just felt very sort of interesting to pair him in the Star Wars galaxy. But what I also felt in that room is this thirst among the fans for something different, something new. So that's my everyday North Star that I'm chasing.
So, and we'll kind of bounce away from that for a sec. Something new has been a big, I guess, it's another split in the Star Wars fandom as per usual. Something new versus attachments to legacy characters. what fans want from Star Wars in the future. It's a very impossible task to please everybody in Star Wars because the fandom is so enormous and we all have different wants and needs. But there's a portion of fans that want new. They want completely unconnected to a Skywalker, completely unconnected to a Palpatine, and just new story in the Star Wars universe. And then there's people who only want stuff attached to legacy characters. If it's not Anakin connected, if it's not Luke connected, I don't want it. And then there's a group in between that are like, I'll take both. But this is for that group that wants something completely new and unconnected. Starfighter is going to be that. Gosling, it's still up in the air about Amy Adams and Flynn Gray's character, if it is Mara Jade and possibly Luke Skywalker's son, which would just be ridiculous. But either way, it's going to be all new cast, all new place in the galaxy, all new everything. And that, for some people, is really, really exciting. So let's put it this way. On a scale of 1 to 10, tell me in the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Star Wars Starfighter? And I'm going to ask you the same question because, again, you don't have to know anything about anything when it comes to Star Wars to watch this movie. And for some, that might be like, and for others, that might be like, yes, because I don't want to watch 10 weeks of straight Star Wars to prepare for the next movie. So on a scale of 1 to 10, take into account that this movie doesn't come out for another year and a half, May of 2027. How excited are you for Starfighter?
I mean, it's kind of far away for me to be like a 10 about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like new Star Wars is good. I'm very curious to see what they'll do with it, considering that it's so detached from everything else. And I don't know a lot about this director, but just from what I've watched right here, I mean, he seems really invested and smart and has good goals that I think will hopefully suit the audience well. So I would say like 7.5, maybe.
That's pretty good. I'm probably around that same place, 7.5, maybe an 8. Just
That's what I was
because it's new. It's what the galaxy looks like post 9, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And the kid is supposed to be force sensitive from what we hear. So that's kind of exciting, and Ryan Gosling too. Sean Levy, I've been calling him Levy, but it's Levy. Sean Levy is really exciting because he actually does a lot of episodes of Stranger Things, which you don't watch, but that's okay. But he also did the 3 Night of the Museum movies. He did Real Steel, which is like, have you seen Real Steel?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Real Steel is awesome. It's Hugh Jackman and it's robots boxing. It's awesome. But Real Steel, he did The Atom Project and Free Guy, the Ryan Reynolds movies. He did Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, he's the man. So him doing a Star Wars movie.
Deadpool and Wolverine is the only one I've seen out of everything you just listed, but it was fantastic.
Yes, it is great. So he is the man, and he's the one we want making a Star Wars movie.
All right.
We got a question from the TikTok chat over there. It says, do you like Star Wars more than Marvel and DC? Yes. And it's not really even close. However, we will ask you in a second because I know you are more new to the Star Wars game and have watched Marvel for years and years. So we'll ask you in a second.
Okay.
But I'll give my spiel first. It's not even close. And yes, Marvel and DC are technically older if you take comics into account. So if you take just the MCU and the DCU, like, it's just not even remotely close. But still, the Star Wars fandom, I think, is bigger than both the Marvel and DC, probably combined. But when you take a character like Darth Vader, he's of the same level as a character like Superman. And that, honestly, is impressive from Star Wars' standpoint. I think more people, I mean, as many people know the name Darth Vader as they do Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, all that stuff, which is crazy for one that's, I guess, 40-ish years older than the other. I will say, Star Wars is so spread out amongst the last 50 years that the 10-year or maybe even 5-year run that Marvel had from, I guess, 2014 to Age of Ultron to Endgame, it's hard to compete with that. Like, if you just take that chunk of MCU greatness, you can pretty much put that up against anything. But when it comes to the DC, I mean, other than the Dark Knight trilogy, they haven't done much, you know? They just haven't done much at all. Yeah, I mean, the Superman movie was good. This summer, it was good. Peacemaker, haven't really tapped into. For some reason, they're making a spinoff of the Olsen guy from the Superman movie. And they just are getting way too specific, way too early. They're making a Clayface movie, Amanda Waller show. Like, who cares? Okay, your turn.
Okay, my turn. Well, I guess DC is really not in the running for me. No offense to DC.
Well, to give a little bit of a credit to DC, Superman and Batman are still like two of the most iconic characters
That's true.
ever.
Mhm.
There's a reason they make a new Batman movie like every 2 years.
Yeah, but you know that I have a bone to pick about that.
Yeah, there's too many Batmans. And it doesn't help that the best version of Batman is, I don't even know, 15, 20 years old now. Christian Bale's. Like, Pattinson was good. It's now taken them 5 years to make the second one. Like, it's just a disaster. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like the organization with DC just upsets me because they had the head start with all of this. Like, they had the most well-known characters. They didn't have the like Marvel going broke and having to sell their characters thing and come up with new stuff. Like, I feel like they had the best opportunity, and I just get so irritated that the same character has a movie come out like every 5 years and they just retell the same story again. Like,
Yeah.
that bothers me. So, I mean, I did like growing up, I watched the DC shows and I've seen some stuff, but DC is definitely not.
True.
It's
That is true. The shows, I didn't really think of that.
I loved The Flash growing up. I loved Arrow for most of it. I think it went on maybe a little bit too long.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy those shows when they were out. But yeah, but then I loved Grant Gustin as a Flash, and then there's a new Flash.
And that new Flash sucked.
And I didn't even see that movie, but I was attached to the first one that I saw, and I was like, I don't even want to go see somebody else be the Flash because I know who I like, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Marvel, I really grew up with Marvel, and I had seen some Star Wars stuff, but Mike wasn't in my life soon enough to actually have me grow up with it, I guess. So Marvel definitely has a lot of nostalgia for me, and like I went and watched all the movies with my family, and my dad loved Iron Man, so I loved Iron Man. And so I think Star Wars is also just like I haven't seen everything yet, and when we did go through, I guess technically I have seen all the movies at this point? Maybe. But I was not paying attention the first time that we watched them. I remember very few about the original and the sequels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love Ahsoka, and I feel like shows like Clone Wars and The Bad Batch have definitely increased my knowledge of Star Wars, but also just the attachment that I feel to the characters and the story. I have a hard time because it's such a tragedy. And again, obviously, that's what makes it good. But if you guys know me, you know that I like a nice heartwarming story, and I just get sad about everything that happened. So I would say for right now, I like Marvel better. Nobody come for me on that because I haven't seen everything from Star Wars yet. I know I should just leave.
Okay. Well, we will change that.
We will change
You're
that.
not even halfway through the timeline
I'm not even
yet.
halfway through, so I can't even really speak. I can't even give an opinion because I've seen everything Marvel. I haven't seen everything Star Wars. So.
Exactly. Also, to your point of Ahsoka and all that, like you didn't even know who Ahsoka was.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Like a couple months ago.
I didn't know who Ahsoka was, and now she's my favorite. Love her.
Exactly.
So it's not fair for me to give an opinion yet because I don't have a fair comparison.
We were also watching Kenobi the other day, and we watched the third episode where it ends with Vader, and he drags Obi-Wan through the flames and tortures him like he did to him on Mustafar, which is a great scene. And you were just like, oh, I was like, what? You're like, he's so annoying. I was like, what? You're like, Vader, why is Anakin this? Why is he doing this?
It's true.
Yeah. Which, I mean, valid because he's annoying as hell, but he's awesome.
No, he is awesome. And it was a very cool scene. And I was like, I don't like horror. Not that was horror at all, but I was getting very spooked. Like Vader walking through the town and looking for Obi-Wan and snapping people's necks. I was like, what are we watching? So awesome. Like, it definitely is fantastic storytelling and fantastic movies and everything. And Oh, I was scared. I was creeped out. I told him to turn it off. I was like, I'm upset now. I can't watch it now.
Yeah,
I
that's
need a
valid.
break.
It was. I mean, Vader is scary.
Vader is
I
terrifying.
always say that. What Disney gets so much crap for all this different stuff. They are so good at Vader. Like for the last 13 years that they've had the IP of Star Wars, they've done Vader so well time and time and time again in video games, in comics, in live action, in shows, and in movies. Vader is done perfectly every single time they touch him, which is awesome because he's the GOAT.
And
of
I
course.
feel like to like stay true to the character from the original first time we saw him being so long ago and still have it give that same effect and still have the originals hold up is very impressive, and that's something that Marvel doesn't have because they haven't been around in like the movies as long.
Yeah. And what I will say, actually, Marvel is, other than like DC, not so much, but Marvel is so much closer to Star Wars in the ways that they focus on, I guess, lesser characters. Like, you have, they start off the MCU, and granted, it's because they didn't have the rights to this, but they didn't have the rights to their best characters. They didn't have the rights to the Fantastic Four or the X-Men or Spider-Man, who are their three biggest groups. So they had to start with Iron Man, and they start with Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, who now are household names, but for the most part, those weren't their big characters in the comics. So they had to go with those characters who really just weren't the biggest and kickstart their whole thing with that, which was impressive, to say the least. But that's what Star Wars does, too. You got shows like Andor, which is a side character of side characters, who it's one of the best shows ever created. Oops, sorry. But one of the best shows ever created. And same with The Mandalorian. Like, these are not main characters, but they become main characters. The Bad Batch, for example, like those characters are just side characters in season 7 of the Clone Wars, and they get their own show, and you're like, okay, this might be cool, and it ends up being awesome. So Marvel is very similar to that, where they take Guardians of the Galaxy, like these misfits, and turn them into great stories.
Yeah. I think both franchises do a good job of making you care about characters that you wouldn't expect to care about.
Exactly.
And just random people.
True. Okay, let's get to this giveaway, shall we? So this is your last chance. If you want a 1 in, right now we have 92 members, so a 1 in 92 chance, or if you want to become a member right now and steal it away, to win this Mandalorian Lego set of his head, which will be chopped off in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie next year when he dies. This is probably your last chance to get this, because I'm sure they'll discontinue it once he dies. Either way, this is your what? Shaking your head?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, sure.
You just kill everyone off.
No, I don't.
Mike's killing me off. If I go missing one day, you know who did it.
So if you want a 1 in 92 chance, you got to join and become a member. And for all those now members, you guys are the absolute best, and this is why we do these giveaways for you guys to give back. So at the end of every month, we do these giveaways, and it just so happens to land on your birthday. So for your birthday, you get to give out a gift.
That's so exciting.
To the people who love Star Wars. Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to ask that. All right, let's do this. So this is your last chance to join or gift memberships. Gifted memberships are also a thing. I don't know how they work or how to do them, but they exist. I've seen it before. So there's that too. But what we do here is we spin this wheel, 1 of 92, and then we go to this list and we find from all the way to the bottom. YouTube still doesn't fix this, because if I just leave it, it goes right back to the top. It's really annoying. So all the way to the bottom, with number 1 being Cat's Paws, all the way to the top with number 92 being Darth Plagueis Lives, who joined on today's live stream. You have 1 in 92 chance to win the Lego. So let's spin the wheel, unless who's feeling lucky? Yeah, no. Yeah, 92 members is pretty crazy, so love to see that. All right, let's spin the wheel. We'll give it like 10 more seconds. We'll give it 10 more seconds. You want to let them guess on what age you're turning today?
I guess. Am I going to get my feelings hurt?
Maybe. I mean, let's find out.
You guys can guess on how old you
All
think
right,
I am.
how old do we think Samantha is turning today? On November 29th, 2025.
I saw someone ask, too, how long we've been together. Should we give them that as any
you
kind
can
of
guess
hint?
that, too.
Oh, we'll have them guess that, too?
Guess how long we've been dating for. You can guess that as well before we spin this wheel. Give time for people to maybe. Oh, can we get some good Cubs follow orders in the chat, please? Oh, this chat's going to be going insane. 22, 22, 17. Oh, hang on. I'm out of here.
Somebody arrest Mike.
You guys think I'm like 90 and you think she's 17?
I guess that means I'm youthful, right? That's good.
Brandon Baker, 24, 21, 26. They're all pretty much in the ballpark.
Yeah, they're around the general area. Has anyone gotten it yet? I thought I saw. Oh, someone got it.
Yeah, somebody got it.
Okay.
6 years old.
Yes.
26.
6 and a half.
6 and a half. 22, 23. Well, you're all pretty close.
Uh-huh.
Oh, 6 years is the guess for how long we've been dating, not how old you are.
Ah.
That makes a little bit more sense.
It does make more sense.
Okay.
Do I reveal?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm 23 as of today.
3.
Yes.
There you go. Actually, 3 people got it right.
Do they know how
4
old you
people got
are?
it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe.
Can we tell them?
I'm 23 too.
Yeah.
My birthday was back in May. We had a birthday celebration.
Mm-hmm. We're almost
Dating for 6
exactly
years. That's the
6 months
guess.
apart.
Dating for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Many guesses.
Many guesses, none right yet.
I know no one got it. Unless I didn't see it. It's possible.
I don't think I saw it.
I didn't see it yet.
I have not seen it yet.
Mm.
All right, we'll let them guess. We're going to spin the wheel. All right, let's spin the wheel. 1 in 92 chance of winning the Din Djarin's head on a pedestal. See that noise? It's like the greatest noise ever.
That was a good noise.
Spin the wheel.
Very satisfying.
Oh, we're kind of in the middle right here. Imagine it was 23. It's not. 36. All right, so for this part, I don't like to show them because it's really annoying when you scroll down here and then it goes right back to the top.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go like this. All right, so what was it? 36?
36.
Oh, that's
Are we counting?
Yeah, we got to count all the way from the
What
bottom.
if instead of doing 100 rows per page, can you do 36, or does that change the order?
Oh my God, you're a genius.
Well, you can. That doesn't really help because you're still counting up to the 36.
No, but we can count down.
We could count down.
Oh, well, if we put it at 20 million, it's count to 16. Right?
No, because it's. Oh. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We go to the last
Is
page.
it from.
Oh, wait.
Does
This
it make
seems
it out
harder.
of order, though?
No, it's the same order.
All right.
This seems too difficult. Let's go back to the
Don't take my suggestion. It was a bad idea.
horrible idea. All right, back to the 100.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, this is the worst. Let's well, I count. Let's start talking about your reviews for stuff. So the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start there. The Bad Batch, all 3 seasons we watched.
We did.
My personal thing when it comes to the Bad Batch is the first 2 seasons I wasn't the biggest fan of, and then the 3rd season's like a freaking masterpiece. Now, granted, you need the first 2 seasons to make the 3rd season good and pay off well.
Mm-hmm.
But I did feel on the rewatch of that 3rd season that the first 2 seasons, or all 3 seasons, the first 2 seasons were a lot better than I remember them.
Mm-hmm.
So much of the stuff with, I mean, the premiere of Order 66, but even just all the stuff with Sid
Mm-hmm.
and the destruction of Camino, and then all
Mm-hmm.
the stuff in season 2 with the clones getting, I guess, rights in the Senate and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of great stuff in those first 2 seasons that eventually end up with the 3rd season being really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to rank the entire thing instead of just going season by season because that's way
Okay.
harder to do.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you putting the Bad Batch on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh, and you can tell them how long we've been dating too, because somebody guessed it right.
We have been dating for 7 years and 3 months. 3 months. Is that right? No, 2 months. Scale 1 to 10, Bad Batch. I like the Bad Batch. And Mike kind of warned me about this too. He said that many people were a bit annoyed by Omega at first, and mostly I was just annoyed by the pronunciation of her name. So that was my only real issue with her, I guess. And she kept getting into trouble, but she always had good intentions, which I appreciated about her. And then that was cool at the very end of season 3 when she goes off to join the Republic, right?
Yeah.
Yes?
She goes
No?
joins the rebellion,
The
as
rebellion.
a pilot. Yeah.
Sorry. As a pilot, yeah. When she goes to join as a pilot, oh my God, someone said Sid is your fave, right? Sid was upsetting. I always wanted Sid to change and do the right thing, and she just never did. But but I liked it. Where would I put it on a scale of 1 to 10? I wonder. What did I put for Clone Wars?
I think you put Clone Wars at like a 9,
I
or maybe
know.
even 9.5. And
I
for the
put Clone
Acolyte, you
Wars
put the
5.
Acolyte at like a 8.7 or something like that. I forget.
Interesting. Where do I put Bad Batch? I don't know. They built a lot of tension with Crosshair too, and I kept getting annoyed by Crosshair.
Oh,
and then he
yeah.
changed at the end. The arc was fantastic.
Yeah, you hated Crosshair earlier.
I was so mad at Crosshair, and I just didn't get it too. And
Yeah.
then he was like, "Oh, I got my chip out a long time ago." So then I was I don't know.
Extra mad.
Then I was extra mad and just I'm still confused. I feel like about how that happened, but moving on. Where would I put it? Scale of 1 to 10.
Okay, before you do that, we'll leave a drum roll for it. Where is the
Okay.
Ahsoka Season 2 concept that we looked at today from? That was from Star Wars Celebration. So Star Wars Celebration, back in April, we got all that concept art, but some of it I hadn't seen yet, and it's been enhanced by Star Wars fans. So at Celebration, it was a lot, more blurry and photo of a photo of a photo of a photo, and now it's nice and, nice and clear. All right, scale of 1 to 10. You got it?
I'm gonna say 9.2.
Oh!
I liked the Bad Batch.
9.2. That's pretty
Bad
high.
Batch was good. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't disagree.
even just me being annoyed by Crosshair and I don't know. That
Yeah.
means they did a good job of storytelling. And then he came back at the end, which is great for me because I love a happy ending, even though Tech was very sad. But
Tech dying was brutal.
I mean, big picture, they took down Mount Tantus and it's great.
True.
Loved it.
So I remember when we were going into the finale, because we always leave the finale for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, I don't want to watch this because they're all gonna die. Because I'm so good at not telling her things. So she was like,
I thought someone was gonna die.
yeah,
Someone
so
big.
did I. I mean,
And
when we went
I
into
was so upset about it. I didn't want to watch it.
when we went into the finale, us and me in the chat, when we went into the finale, when season 3 was coming out, we all assumed they were all gonna die.
Yeah, I was like, they can't walk away from this with a perfectly happy ending. And I guess Nalise did die, and the clones that helped them get out did die too. But I don't know. I guess I was more worried. I was worried that like Crosshair was gonna die and sacrifice himself, and that was gonna be his like final redemption. And I wasn't having that. So.
Yeah, we all expected a lot more deaths. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Star Bill says, I can't find these concept art online for Ahsoka Season 2. If you join the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Completely free, by the way. We've sent all the images to there, so just go join the Discord if you're not in it anyway. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mike didn't kill everyone off for you. See, I say that everybody's going to die so much that if I even say that, like it's like a
Yeah, I
joke.
would just think he's joking. Even if he was like, yeah, everyone's gonna die, I'd be like, haha, yeah, okay, you crazy.
Yeah.
So,
So,
but he does a good job mostly.
Yeah.
Of not spoiling things. His
mostly.
mistake.
I told her that Obi-Wan died, and she was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? What?
His mistake is that he thinks I remember a lot more from watching all the movies through the first time, and I remember nothing. So he'll tell me things that he thinks I know already, and I'll go,
Yeah.
So I also just didn't like have an association of what happened to what characters and when. So
True.
you just gotta not tell me anything. I'll
I
figure it out eventually.
won't.
Okay.
I will not any longer.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's move on to what we watched next, which was Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I told you right before Solo that when we watched it that of the 5 Star Wars movies that Disney has made, it lost money.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only one to not make $1 billion,
Mm-hmm.
and people really didn't like it when it came out. And going in, I guess, with that in mind, you were pleasantly surprised. Like, you really liked Solo.
I did like Solo.
Yeah.
I said
And
nothing wrong with Solo.
I think Solo is like one of the most underrated projects we've ever gotten from Star Wars, and many of you guys I know agree with that. Solo is extremely underrated.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember the final scene of the movie or one of the final scenes of the movie is where the climax of the movie is where they go back into Dryden Voss's yacht,
Mm-hmm.
plot twist, and then plot twist again, and then plot twist a third time, and then plot twist a fourth time. And
And not at a single moment in time did I have any idea what direction they were going in. I was confused every time something new happened. I was like,
you're like, I know Han Solo makes it out alive.
right. I know
But
Han
that's
has
about
to
it.
live, and I know Chewie has to live, but I don't know anything else. And he has to make it away with the Millennium Falcon, I assume. So
You also thought that Kira was going to die.
I did.
because she's not in the originals, and Han and Leia eventually end up together.
This is true. I
So-
thought something was gonna happen with her.
But Kira did not. And
No
then when Maul came on the screen,
Yeah.
you had no idea that was coming, and you
No,
were
I
like,
didn't.
"Wait, what?"
I was so confused.
It was awesome.
I was like, is the timeline skewed in my head? What's
Well, it was
up with
actually-
Maul?
Well, we like to watch it with subtitles on,
We do.
which is problematic in that scenario. But I actually, when we watched The Force Awakens, I put up a poll in the chat of do you watch Star Wars with subtitles on or off?
Mhm.
And it was like one of the closest polls we ever had. It was like 50-50, right down the middle. People watch it with subtitles and don't watch it with subtitles. So it was
Yep.
pretty fascinating, actually.
I gotta watch it with subtitles. I can't understand what they're saying if I'm not also reading it. I don't know what my problem is.
The problem with that,
I think people are saying we're lagging.
are we lagging? Are we good, chat?
I don't know.
My problem is that we did crash last. See, I'd be like, you guys are crazy, but we did crash last week. So
Right.
no, it's done that before. All right,
Okay.
we're good. Yeah, we're good. It was just a second. It was just one quick second where we lost it.
They were just confused that we went past 4.
They were just confused that we were talking about Solo being good.
We're talking about Maul.
Maul, yeah. But the problem with the subtitles there was when Maul came on the screen, you're not supposed to see him yet. You don't see his face. He's just a hologram. You don't know what's happening. But the first line he says, it said in parentheses, Maul.
Mm.
And then it said his line. And you were like, wait, what? And you don't see his face yet. And then, of course, they reveal his face and then it's
Mhm.
Maul. And then he stands up and you hear his mechanical legs stand up. And then he
Mhm.
forces the lightsaber to him, which is really cool. But all that to say, it was spoiled a couple seconds early because it said Maul in the subtitles. So
It's okay. We found out anyways.
yeah, we figured it out.
It's not like you're supposed to find out, I don't know, in an end credit
Yeah,
scene or
true.
something. And
But as I explained to her, and because now she's caught up in that point in the timeline,
Mhm.
Maul Shadow Lord, which we mentioned earlier on in the live stream, that takes place before Solo. So where we last leave Maul is in season 7, where he escapes Ahsoka
Mhm.
during Order 66. And we don't know how he goes from that to, again, ruler of the Crimson Dawn and ruler of the underworld,
Mhm.
where we see him in Solo.
Yep.
And then beyond that. So we don't know what happens with Maul in between those two time periods. And that's
Mhm.
what Maul Shadow Lord's going to explain to us, which
We're
is really,
gonna
really cool.
find out.
All right. And then we're only halfway through, but we'll give a little halfway point for
I didn't
Kenobi
rank
so
Solo
far.
yet. Am I supposed to
Oh,
rank
yeah,
Solo?
you didn't rank Solo. Rank Solo on a scale of 1 to 10. And
We
everybody
need
else
to-
in the chat, too, while she's thinking about it,
Mhm.
rank it on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you have Solo? Probably one of the most underrated projects in Star Wars. Not the greatest, but still one of the most underrated.
I feel like we need to make a list, like a sticky note for me or
I
something,
know.
so that I can, because I feel like I don't know. I'm rating all these on different days. It could be it could be different if you ask me another day.
Yeah.
Um.
Well, that's how it works.
That's true, I guess. But yeah, I did like Solo. I'm trying to think if I had anything that I was like, oh, I didn't like that they did it that way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think also I probably like Solo more than others might, just because I in my brain have like nothing about Han that I would watch that movie
True.
and then say, oh, he wouldn't do that. Like I don't have a strong enough character of him in my head to say that they did a bad job or that they did a great job. We will get there when we rewatch the original trilogy. But I would say I'm seeing a couple of 9s in the chat, and that's
Yeah, we got some
speaking to me.
8s, 7s, 9, 9, 8, 9, 8, 8, 8, 5 out of 10. Wow.
I would give. I don't know. I thought it was funny. I thought the storytelling
It is
was good.
funny.
I thought the visuals were good.
Yeah.
And then the plot twists at the end were great. I would give it a 9.
There you go, 9 out of 10. I'd probably be around that same spot, maybe a little bit lower, just because when you put it up against the other Star Wars movies. But when it comes to Solo, it is underappreciated because of the recast of the characters. Harrison Ford, of course, being so iconic as Han, but even Billy D. Williams as Lando. But the recast, I'm always been, whenever we talk about Luke, Leia, and Han being recast post-originals, I'm always against it. I want a deep fake. I'd rather an animated show because Mark, Carey, and Harrison are all those characters, and I can't imagine anybody else doing it.
Mhm.
But for some reason, maybe because it's a prequel, for some reason when it comes to Alden as Han and Donald Glover as Lando. I don't mind it. I actually like it a lot. So maybe it has to be a prequel or something. I don't know. But
Has to be far enough removed
yeah.
that it's acceptable.
Yeah, it's like 10 years before or something. So it's
Mm.
far enough away. It's the same thing as like Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan you're watching right now
Mm,
in Kenobi.
that's true.
9 years later in the timeline, it's Alec Guinness. It's
Yeah.
a different actor. So
That's true.
there you go.
Interesting.
So there's that. Now let's do a halfway point for Kenobi because
Mhm.
the finale, as you are aware, is like the best.
Mhm.
So we haven't gotten to that point yet. So just with the first 3 episodes, you've gotten their first confrontation
Mhm.
and Kenobi realizing that Anakin's still alive in the back
Mhm.
to tank scene, which is really cool.
And that Anakin is Vader.
And that Anakin is Vader because Reva knows and she shouldn't know, and you don't
Mhm.
really know what's going on with Reva yet.
I don't know what's going on with her yet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've been very irritated by her, and I'm curious that we're gonna get a backstory, and I'm gonna go, oh, I feel bad about everything I said, or maybe I won't. I don't know.
Yes,
we're gonna find out.
it's just good writing, you know.
So, yeah, she's a bit of a troublemaker. Clearly, everybody else that she's working with also thinks she's a troublemaker and is not fond of her. Yeah, the Anakin stuff is devastating, but very good because it's making me feel devastated.
Yeah, so you got
And Obi-Wan looked terrified and just
Yeah.
horrified. His acting was great.
so you got Obi-Wan sort of becoming an old hermit and
Yeah.
disconnecting himself, burying his lightsabers. You
Mhm.
can't. He was told by Yoda that he's gonna go train with Obi-Wan with Qui-Gon,
Mhm.
and he can't even talk to Qui-Gon. He's trying to, but he can't. And then you have him wanting to watch over Luke, and Uncle Owen's like, "No, go away."
Yeah. Poor Obi-Wan. And then where did we leave off?
We left off
that
with him
Leia.
burning alive. Oh yeah, Leia got captured by Reva,
Yes.
and Obi-Wan escaped with Tala and the droid.
Yes.
But Vader, which was a big issue for people. If you remember
Uh-huh.
the end of episode 3, where Vader burns Obi-Wan alive, and then he blows the fire out with the Force,
Mm.
and then they reignite the fire, and people are like, why didn't you just blow the fire out again and then go get Obi-Wan? It's him just sitting there aura farming, being like, I'll catch you again. Yeah.
That's true. Well, that was what I said to Mike. I was like, we just watched him, kill all these people instantly, and granted those people weren't Force users, like when he was walking through the village. But I was like, I feel like he's got enough power that he could just
Yep.
get his revenge instantly and kill him and then move on. But then Mike brought up that it's more of he wants him to suffer. So that made more sense to me, that he's not killing him not because he can't, but because he wants him to suffer.
True.
But my halfway point is, I don't know. They're doing a great job. They're doing great storytelling, and the visuals and the soundtrack. Even like when Vader's walking through, it's like dead silent. Or like when he's coming around the corner, and
Yeah.
I was just like waiting,
Just his breathing.
and I knew that he was gonna be there, and it was
Yeah.
so scary. So I'm enjoying Kenobi so far, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Although, see, right now I don't know how the show ends. I know that him and Vader face off, and they have a scene. I don't exactly know what happens to that, but we did watch the like,
Movie. cut.
the fan cut
Yeah,
of
the
a movie.
Patterson or Pattinson cut. Yeah.
So we did watch that already, but again, I don't remember exactly how that panned out. But when we're watching the show, I'll be like, I remember that scene. I remember that scene. I know it's going to happen right now. So we'll see how much more of it I remember, because it's very possible that at this point in the movie version, I fell asleep or something and missed a chunk. So, but I'm excited to see
Also
where the rest of
possible.
Kenobi goes. And I like Leia. I think
Yes,
that
young Leia. She's
thought-
great.
young Leia was casted well.
Yeah, because I told you that people gave her crap.
Yeah, don't give the actress crap for it.
Oh,
though.
yeah. You think that would be a common knowledge thing,
It's
but
not
no.
her fault
Yeah.
that she was told by a director. How old is this girl? Like, if I was her
Like
age
8
and somebody
probably.
told me, okay, this is
Oh,
your
maybe
job
10.
to go run away from these people, I wouldn't be like, but I can't run fast enough. Like, so
Yeah, no.
that's where I stand with that.
She does a great job, and
I have no problems with her.
it's the same issue that happens over and over again, like Jake Lloyd in the prequels, or Ahmed
Mhm.
Best in the prequels, or Hayden Christensen in the prequels,
Mm-hmm.
or any name a character in the sequels that got the same amount of hate.
Mm.
It is a little ridiculous. But people were asking, and I completely forgot that I even didn't say it out
know.
loud. Who won the giveaway?
Mhm.
It was Aaron Kelly, 1969. So Aaron, I
Woo!
don't know if Aaron is in the chat today,
Happy
but
birthday to you too, Aaron.
Not his birthday, I'm assuming, but he did win the giveaway. So,
Mhm.
Aaron, hit me up on anything, X, Instagram, Discord, anywhere, and I will get this out to you as soon as you reach out to me. So you got to reach out to me first. I can't send it to you without an address to send it to. But you have won the Din Djarin head.
Epic.
Not his body, but just the head. But
Because
there you go.
it's getting chopped off.
It's getting chopped off.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Apparently.
From Mr. A Guy Who Loves Star Wars.
Yes. All right. But with that being said, we do have to get on out of here. We went well over 2 hours today. I did not intend to do that, but
Sorry.
it's actually a lot easier to to extend the time of the live stream when you're here, because it's easier to bounce off of somebody than just the people in the chat. No offense to the people in the chat. But we went over Mando stuff, new trailer, which was awesome, new footage for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Ahsoka Season 2 concept art, even better, stuff we've never seen before. Starfighter stuff we talked about. And, of course, we got all the ratings for your Star Wars and where you're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Next time we see you, we'll probably have the entire Kenobi done. And Saria's saying hi to you a billion times in the chat.
Hello, Saria.
So there's that. So give your final happy birthdays to the birthday girl in the chat, please. And smash a freaking like in this stream if you have not already. Actually, let me end this poll. What even is this poll? I put this up so long ago I don't even remember what it says. Oh, are you excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie? 83% of you say yes. 17% say no. The math is mathing with almost 100 votes on that poll. That's pretty good. Oh, wait! Wait! Don't leave yet. We got something pretty crazy that I know you guys love over here. And that is a list. A Star Wars list. Top 10 Star Wars villains all time. Now, I believe you've met most of these villains, so we'll see what your reaction to this is too. But this is one of my favorite things, because these websites now make all these top 10, top 20, top 50 Star Wars lists, and usually they're really bad. However, sometimes they're good, but it tends to be at least one or two things, askew. Stuffing is gross. That's like the worst take of all time. Stuffing might be the single greatest food of all time.
Stuffing is the best part of Thanksgiving.
Yes. Okay, so let's take a look at this list and tell me your top 10 or maybe just top 3 Star Wars villains. I'll start. Okay, it's Vader, number 1, obviously. That's tough. Maul's number 2. Vader, Maul, you got to go Palpatine. You have to go Palpatine. Because he's the best. Like
he's the mastermind.
He's the mastermind behind all of it, all 3 trilogies. But in a close third and a half would be Thrawn. And then you get into stuff like Dooku and Asajj Ventress, like characters who have a lot of time in the Clone Wars. But Asajj, I guess, becomes a good guy in the end. Either way, so does Vader, I guess, too. But Palpatine doesn't. Either way, I'm sticking with it. Vader, Maul, Palpatine. Would you concur with that, or would you change anything?
I'm only thinking maybe switch Maul and Palpatine, but
Palpatine 2, Maul 3.
But I agree with your top 3.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Anyone else for Revan? Revan's a difficult one. Yes, he spends probably the majority of his time. I mean, you play with him in the game as a hero. I guess that's
What about Chimere?
I guess
Is he
it
on your
changes.
list at all?
Chimere wouldn't. Would he be in top 10 though? He wouldn't be top 3. Definitely not.
No.
But would he be top 10?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of who I've seen recently.
I honestly took a very brief look at this list, so I don't know I know who's number 1, but I don't know who the rest is. So let's take a look at this list.
Let's do it.
So this is coming from comicbook.com, who usually is pretty good. So let's see. And again, this is just their opinion versus ours, so nobody's wrong, but they're definitely going to be wrong.
If it's not what we want it to be, they're wrong.
Number 10 is Dedra Miro. You haven't met her yet.
Don't know who that is.
But I already disagree with this. Dedra is a great character. Not a top 10 villain in Star Wars. I could name probably 50 villains. Nope, I take it back. I probably couldn't name 50 villains. But I could name at least 10 that are better than Dedra. And I'll do it right now. Maul, Vader, Palpatine, Dooku, Chimere, probably. Kylo Ren. Asajj, you'd have to put up there too.
Mm.
But I'd still put Krennic above her. I'd still put Tarkin above her. I'd still put the Grand Inquisitor for sure. Oh, I haven't said Thrawn yet. Thrawn, he's way higher than that, but Thrawn. Moff Gideon would be higher than Miro. Baylan Skoll, of course. Baylan Skoll would be higher than her.
Sid.
Sid, no.
Just kidding.
But that's at least 13. Okay. Dedra Miro. It's recency bias. It's Andor season 2 came out this year. That's what it is. Jabba the Hutt. I never would have even thought of him. I'm being completely honest. Jabba would not have come anywhere close to my top 10. Maybe even not my top 100. Don't even really think of him as a villain, honestly. He is, of course, but like, you scared of this?
He's
like,
the quintessential galactic crime lord. What are you talking about?
He is. I mean, yeah. No.
His size and frankly repulsive appearance mask a shrewd, calculating, and utterly ruthless mind.
But like, you could outrun this, you know? Like, how can you be how can you be scared of something you could just run away from? But yeah, so there's that. Number 8, the Grand Inquisitor. Okay, I said the Grand Inquisitor too. That's a pretty good one. 8 seems pretty good for him too. You've just sort of been introduced to the Grand Inquisitor. So you haven't seen him. This is him in Rebels. So you haven't seen him yet, really.
I've only seen him live action.
Yeah.
And I said, didn't people not like the way that they did that?
Because he's got a really long, or he has a really long head, as you can see here. And then it's not like that in live action. Number 7, Moff Gideon. Okay, a little high for Moff Gideon, I think. But he does, I mean, I guess runtime wise, he is probably he spends a lot of time on screen as the villain in Star Wars because it's a TV show and, you know, all that. All right, number 6, Asajj Ventress. Okay, pretty high for Asajj. I did have her in my top 10, so that makes sense. 7 seasons of the Clone Wars is a long time, but she does eventually become the hero. Number 5 is Darth Maul. Way too low. Maul at 5. Who's going to be above it? No Palpatine, no Vader yet, so those are definitely 2. Can't think of 2 others. Dooku hasn't been named yet. That's true too. Kylo maybe, but no. Over Maul? See, Maul, yes, you think of the Phantom Menace, but you got to think of the Clone Wars and Solo and
whatever we're gonna see in the new
whatever
show.
we're gonna see. Yeah, you haven't seen it yet. Okay, there's that. Number 4, sorry, General Grievous. I didn't even think of Grievous. Okay, Grievous is pretty good in the Clone Wars, and he's good in Revenge of the Sith. But you know, he's just a coward, so just runs away from everything. Can't be. It's not better than Darth Maul. Yeah, he's got bad lungs. He's got a cough. How could you be scared of a guy with a cough?
Just blow some dust in his face.
Just throw some dirt in his eye.
Yeah. Seems like you could easily. What are you gonna do about dust with your lightsabers?
Okay.
No, you're not.
Into the top 3 is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Okay. So Grand Admiral Thrawn is a character unlike the others, whose most of his experience, most of his appearances are in books. He's got 6 canon books. He's got 9 books total. So he's definitely the villain who spent the most amount of time in the novelization side of Star Wars. He's been in animation, and he has now come to live action. So we're going to get a lot more Thrawn, and maybe he even rises even further. But the 2 and 1 have to be Palpatine and Vader. If they're not,
Have I seen him yet?
Have you seen Thrawn yet? No.
Okay.
His first animated or live action appearance is this in Rebels.
Okay. I'm not there yet.
So you haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
That's next, which is exciting. Okay, Palpatine is number 2. So Vader's got to be number 1. But Palpatine versus Darth Sidious. By the way, did you know that Palpatine, the word Palpatine, is never said in the original trilogy, and his name is just never said. And it's not until the prequels till you find out. And actually, well, it is in a novelization somewhere, but in the actual movies, it's never mentioned. Same with Ewok. Same with Sith. Sith wasn't even a word. Like, this is all a battle between Jedi versus Sith. Sith isn't even a word until 1999, till the prequels, till The Phantom Menace comes out and Darth Maul is a Sith. So before that, even in Legends, where they made the Heir to the Empire trilogy, they refer to Vader and Palpatine as Dark Jedi.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
That
Okay.
is crazy. Well,
So-
they picked a good word.
Sith.
I got no
yes.
complaints. Mhm.
Okay, and the number one has to be Vader. Yep, Vader. Okay, that makes sense.
Classic.
Classic. So not a terrible list. Not a terrible list. The only one I would disagree with would be Maul being so low, or even lower than Grievous. But other than that, I mean, pretty good.
I thought you
Saj
said
is
you didn't
good.
like whoever was first.
Gideon is not bad. Inquisitor is not bad. Oh yeah, Jabba. Jabba just feels weird.
And,
And then Dedra would be, yeah. So the top part of the list, the more important part of the list is pretty solid.
mhm.
So there you go. There you have it. Now I think we can leave. Did you say that Star Wars is better than Marvel? Yes, and it's not even close. But it's kind of close, except it's not.
Two things can both be good.
Two things can be good at the same time, but one
One's
is
better.
better than the other. Exactly. Okay. No Kylo. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. No Kylo in the
Interesting.
top 10. No Dooku in the top 10.
What
That's
about-
blasphemy.
I might sound like an idiot, but Snoke, or is that not?
Snoke is
Is he kind of just a puppet?
he's a puppet, but
Okay.
he is really cool in the in the Force Awakens.
Okay.
And that's about it.
I don't remember much of him.
I think Snoke could be cool if they bring him back, or not back, but like, prequels stories of him
hmm
would be cool. No Savage Opress, that's a pretty good one too. Yeah, all of those characters, Dooku, Snoke, Kylo, Savage, they're all better than Dedra Miro. So, yeah.
There you go.
But with that being said, smash a freaking like in the stream if you have not already. Hit that
Do
subscribe, hit that bell, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. 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 At the moment, Star Wars is better than Marvel. There's only ever been one moment where Marvel is better. So in 50 years, when Marvel only has a little bit of a moment being better, then I think you already know which is the better franchise.
There you go. The man has said it.
I have spoken. Okay, this is the way. All right, but with that, may the Force be with you always. Oh, yeah. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate you all so much more than you'll ever know. This was quite the live stream. I mean, we talked about everything and anything we could have possibly talked about, and we've gone for over 2 hours.
Mhm.
Mando, Ahsoka, Starfighter, Maul,
And most importantly, my birthday.
and most importantly, your birthday.
Thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes. I didn't say it sooner, so I appreciate all of you and all the
Yes.
love. Thank you for having me on.
There you go. And you got to come on more often.
And I
because
gotta
all they
come
do
on
is
more
ask
often.
for you because I'm not good enough.
Well, you should have known.
Oh. Okay. But with that being said, go keep the conversation going in the Discord. If you are not yet in there, go join it immediately. Yeah. So hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.